first thing you have to do is you have to decide, are you going to be defined by a vision of the future, or are you going to live by the memories of the past? Now, thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body, and how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So we could say that most people's entire state of being when they start their day is in the familiar past. Well, if you live in the familiar past, then it makes sense you're going to create the predictable future. Your body is your unconscious mind. Some people would rather cling to the familiar than take a chance in possibilities. So for most people then, they say, well, I don't really see how my thoughts have anything to do with my destiny. Well, that's because 95% of those thoughts are subconscious programs, right? So you're not even conscious that you think those thoughts. So the first step to change, now the game is on, right? Yes. Because now you're working to become conscious of that and not go unconscious again. And it takes an incredible amount of awareness. Yes. It takes a great amount of consciousness, and you can't have consciousness without energy. So you got to raise your energy in order to get to it. Otherwise, you're going to be consumed. Yes. You're going to return back, right? So if you start becoming familiar, so conscious of those unconscious thoughts, they would never slip by your mind unchecked by you. Now, that is when you really catch yourself, right? And the research shows that you can get better at this. You could actually sense the thought before it comes. Here's the key. If you were able to become familiar with gratitude, become familiar with wholeness, become familiar with abundance, become familiar with freedom, and you're able to generate those chemicals every single day, more than likely, you would be walking around feeling like your future has already happened, and you would no longer be looking for it to happen. When you're connected to the past, you're looking for it, and if you're looking for it, you're separate from it. If you're being it, then there's a complete change in energy, and nobody changes until they change their energy. And when you change your energy, you change your life. You would already feel like it has happened. Now, what is the importance of that? Well, you're literally becoming somebody else. So you're leaving your lack, you're leaving your guilt, you're leaving your emptiness behind. You got to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day, independent of the conditions in your outer environment, independent of your body's cravings of those emotions and habituations, and independent from time. And if you can, get ready. Because something weird or unusual, some synchronicity, some coincidence, some opportunity is going to land in your lap, and you didn't have to go and get it. Yes. It came to you. Now you're the vortex of creation. You can believe in a future that you can't see or experience with your senses yet, which you've thought about enough times in your mind, that it's actually, there's physical evidence in your brain to look like it's already happened. And you can begin to understand, you can select a new potential in the quantum field, and every day emotionally embrace that future reality to such a degree that your body begins to believe it's living in that future reality in the present moment. Your brain is organized to reflect everything you know in your life. Your brain is a reflection of your external environment. It's an artifact from the past of all the things you've learned and all the things that you've experienced. It's wired or mapped in your brain. So if you wake up every morning and you get out of bed on the same exact side as you did the day before, and then you shut your alarm clock off with the same finger, and then you slip into your favorite slippers and you shuffle into the bathroom, and you use the toilet like you always do, and then you get up and you walk over to the mirror and you look in the mirror to remember who you are, and then you get in the shower and you wash yourself in the same routine way as you always do. And then you dress yourself and groom yourself to look like everybody expects you to look. And then you go downstairs and you have your breakfast the same as you did the day before, and you drink coffee out of your favorite mug. And then you drive to work in the same routine fashion, in the same route. And then you get to work and you do the things that you can memorize and do so well. And then you see those same people that push the same emotional buttons. You know, those people. And then you hurry up and you go home. You hurry up and you eat. You hurry up and check your email. And then you hurry up and watch your favorite television show. And you hurry up and go to bed
so you can hurry up and do it all over again the next day. Now here's my question. Did your brain change at all that day? What if you woke up in the morning and instead of getting up and doing the same exact thing, the exact same time and seeing the same people, what if you eliminated the external environment? What if you put your body away, because the change is to be greater than the body? And if the body's become the mind, then you have to retrain it. And what if you said, I'm not going to live in my predictable linear time? And you said, what is the greatest expression of myself that I can be today? Let me master this one day as a lifetime. And you said, let me remind myself of the thoughts that are connected to the old self, and I want to become so conscious of those unconscious thoughts they would never slip by my awareness again. What if you said, let me observe my behaviors, and just like you watching yourself doing a public speech or hitting a golf ball or hitting a tennis ball, if you can observe yourself, you'll self-correct. Wouldn't you agree? What if you said, let me just take a look at how I've been acting? And like Gandalf on the bridge, you said, you may not pass today. You may not pass ever again. And you made a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carried a level of energy that was greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional addictions in your body. And your body responded to a new mind. And what if you said, these emotions that keep me anchored to the past, I will not drop to a lower denominator today. And you became clear of who you no longer wanted to be. You lit a match in a dark place. And then you said, how would greatness live today? How will I love? Can I be present? Can I open my heart? How will I behave? And you begin to think in new and unusual ways. And if by chance you're so caught up in your internal vision that the thought becomes the experience in your mind, and your body begins to produce the emotions ahead of the event, you're moving into a new state of being. Because how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. And now you're broadcasting a whole new electromagnetic signature into the field. And what if you said, I am not getting up from my meditation until I am this person? Now we're talking about greatness. And your body is bucking and kicking like an unbridled stallion. It's impatient, it's frustrated. Why? Because we trained it to be that way. And it wants to get up and open its eyes and do things to reaffirm the identity of the emotion that it's addicted to. And you're saying, stay, just like an animal trainer. The body is the animal. It's the servant to the mind. But when the body becomes the mind, the servant becomes the master. And most people think they're making all their choices with their conscious mind. They're making choices with their body-mind. And so now, the person is working on transformation and broadcast a whole new electromagnetic signature. And your job, by the way, is to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day. You can't, do a meditation and be all spiritual and, feel all great and get on the freeway. That's like eating an organic, healthy breakfast and then spending the rest of the day eating junk food. Your job is to maintain that modified state, independent of the conditions in your environment, independent of the addictions or habits of your body, and independent of time. And if you can, get ready, because something unusual is going to happen in your life. That's the law. So then how is self-love built? So many people in this culture confuse pleasure with self-love. It's nothing to do with each other. It's not about a manicure or a new car or a massage, or not that I have anything against any of those things. But self-love is built when you're sitting there and your body is raging. And it's telling you it can't, and you're sitting there and you're working with it. And sooner or later, it acquiesces and it surrenders to your mind. And I can tell you from experience, I have sat with my body for hours. And the moment I freed my body from the past, and there was that liberation of energy, the voice came out of my head every time, and it's always the same voice. That was so worth it.